Plenty to talk about today in the Western Pacific, so let's get right into it. I'm meteorologist Robert Speta. As always, if you like these type of updates, let me know in the comments section down below. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. But that out of the way, I want to start off with this. Now, you might be thinking, what am I looking at here? This is actually infrared satellite imagery, and I got the temperatures overlaid below it. And if you look across the Westpac, you got a couple of these lines that are kind of clearly visible in here. And this is this confluence between two different air masses. When that's really what triggered up maybe a few showers from Pangasinan into the Cagayan Valley the other day. Yesterday, I should say. We also have some flow coming across parts of Visayas and Mindanao, and then we have this deep low over Japan that's kicking off towards the east, and it's within these boundaries that we're seeing kind of these isolated showers pop up, especially for the Philippines. We almost have the kind of these dry showers, I should say, and what I mean by that, it's mostly dry, but you have like these localized areas of just this warm, heavy rain that's kicking off. So not everybody is seeing the precip. It's just kind of coming in with the easterlies and firing up these afternoon showers. But just in general, yeah, it's the hot season. It's in place. And you can see that here across the Philippines into Vietnam, Mindanao. You do get relief from time to time. There's this front that's going to be dipping in. You see that right there heading in through the weekend. Could bring some isolated showers, but it's no longer December, January, February. We are well into April here, and those fronts, when they dip on through, they lose a lot of their oomph. They lose a lot of their energy, and we're just not seeing the extent of the full force of a full-on cold surge. And here's a clear example. I mean, look at the extent of the northern edge of where the waves are. In the winter months, this would be all in red, indicating 3 to 6 meters. For our surfers at places like Ikani Surf Resort in northern Luzon, yeah, you get those swells, but they're not quite there. And same things for places like Siargao. You're more or less just dealing with the general easterlies and the swells coming off of that versus the northeast monsoon and large kind of waves with those cold surges. So with that said, like I said, there's a couple areas of confluence in there. You see that one right here, another line over central Luzon. It kind of helps pop up these showers, but in general, it is remaining mostly dry, minus those local areas. And then we can take a closer look at that surge I was talking about. This is over the weekend. You see the leading edge, but it's relatively weak and it increases showers. But just in general, I think for a place like Vietnam, you actually could see some moisture flow kind of wrapping in with it. But I think for most part, especially into the Philippines, it's going to stay mostly dry the next few days. We actually take a look at our total rainfall amounts, and let's loop this on through, the heaviest being along the east coast of Mindanao. That indicates 10, 20 millimeters of total precipitation. I'll actually pause on this so we can move this around. And yeah, I mean, you can kind of skirt around it here. This is over the course of 5 days. Maybe parts of the Cagayan Valley could see 10 to 20 millimeters. Manila, yeah, less than 10. The point is, as we go through our flyover here, you see that here, it does say rain in the forecast for a good portion of Mindanao, Cagayan de Oro, Tacloban, even down towards Davao, but it's not a lot of rain. It's there. It's not like Bacolod there. You could be looking at a few showers. Of course, we're continuing to monitor your area because of the volcanic eruptions. You don't want any lahars, but there's some rain in the forecast, but like I mentioned, it's very local and isolated. And I really do think this depiction on this particular model is kind of overdoing the amount of energy we have to work with here, since it's kind of mostly dry. Now, if you look back towards the north, I think this kind of more depicts it. Look at isolated showers picking up there in the parts of the Cagayan Valley. But for Saturday and Sunday, despite the cold surge, we're not seeing a lot of rainfall in places like Manila, albeit the temperatures do drop. In fact, today, I know the heat index got well over 40 degrees in Manila, some of the hottest temperatures we have seen thus far in 2025. So with that surge coming in, at least will provide a little relief. I'm not asking for the world here, but just a little relief. Also, a little bit of rainfall for places like Baguio on Saturday over towards Sunday due to those inflow coming in from the north and afternoon showers. It'll keep things a little bit more modified there for you, as well as Cebu. You could be looking at some isolated areas of precip. But then by Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and really the case across the Philippines, the heat index is going to return and the hot weather will will turn back on. So just some myths and truths about the heat indices. If it's cloudy, you don't have to worry about it. Not the case. It's especially in tropical environments. So we're not just talking about the Philippines, Vietnam, Palau, Guam. It's all about the humidity. So if you got the heat and you got the humidity, it's going to feel wretched out there. The heat index only matters when it's extremely hot. Not the case, as I mentioned. If you got some just general warm temperatures, but a lot of humidity, that is going to build in, and your body has to evaporate your sweat. And if it's unable to do that because the atmosphere is too moist, then your body can't cool itself down. And that's what a heat index is. So just some little tidbits there for you. Big shout out to everybody who supports this channel, though. Our Patreon members, I can't stress enough. You guys are the reason why I continue to be able to do what I do today. And also, I did just put out this here recently, the 2025 Typhoon Season Outlook. 27 named storms, 18 typhoons, 7 super typhoons anywhere in the Western Pacific. That's not at one specific place, nor country, or your house. So a lot of people kind of scared by that number, but it's only, we average 6 per year. So 7 seems like a lot, but it's just slightly above average. And I did just put out a video recently kind of breaking down the averages and the long-term forecast here and why I am saying and expecting what I am expecting. And it has a lot to do with this right here, the ENSO phases. So please do check it out. Just check out our YouTube channel. The video is there. And I truly appreciate it if you guys support the channel. Just stopping by, because I put a lot of effort into that. And hopefully I'm wrong and no typhoons occur. But just based on what I'm seeing, I do expect it not to be a hyperactive season, but a slightly above average typhoon season in our extended forecast. So yeah, as always though, please let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Always try my best to keep you guys informed on what's going on out here in the Western Pacific. But of course, number one thing, as always, is, you know what it is. Stay safe out there, friends. Have a great day.